And just a little context before we wanted to make sure that we were recognizing. So one of the themes of the event here is to that blending, that chance opportunity that Richard talked about, of blending the Western science with the traditional knowledge. So when we were thinking of awards, we wanted to make sure and recognize those folks that were local here that contributed to the science, in addition to those Western scientists that they did work with at the time. So with that, I'll ask Craig to come up and do the next presentation.
Thanks, Nagaruk. So the next presentation is for one of the speakers this morning, David Norton. I think many of you know him. And I can't think of anyone or few people more deserving of this award than Dave. Dave knows the history of the Arctic and the life history of the Arctic ecosystem like no one I know. If you go on the tundra with Dave or on the ocean, he knows the ecosystem from the ground up, all the plants, the insects, the birds, the mammals, and some interesting things about him. He's a huge mentor for myself, many others, Todd Sformo as well. I learned this morning that he was one of Lawrence Irving's graduate students. I didn't realize that, but so Dave dates back to the 1960s, in a sense, sort of the heyday of NORL. A brilliant guy, and really cared about this community very deeply, very committed. He was on the North Slope Borough Arctic Science Committee, Science Advisory Committee. And Dave, if you're listening, I don't know, extremely humble guy, but this is for you, and congratulations.
Thank you, Craig. Thank you, everybody. I think of the words of Tom Albert, to whom I talked recently. He said, Dave, you know, I think there are not too many people who learn to love Barrow, Utqiaġvik, the way you did. Am I right? And I had to say, well, I hope so, because I think that's true. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Dave.